Welcome to the ArmaniTalks podcast. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this podcast, I'm helping you level up your 5 soft skills: public speaking, storytelling, social dynamics, emotional intelligence, and creativity. 5 soft skills for you to change your life forever, skyrocket your confidence along the way. In today's episode, we are entering the world of emotional intelligence along with social skills, and we're going to be discussing the recent Chipotle backlash. If you haven't been aware, Chipotle has been getting a lot of backlash as of late due to their portion sizes. Not only are people complaining about the portion sizes being lower, they're also annoyed that the prices are simultaneously increasing. So they're paying more money for less food. But I don't think that's the real issue. I think the real issue is the feeling of something being unfair. I want you to imagine the following situation. Imagine that you and, let's say, your friend Paul, you guys go to a brand new restaurant and you're not too familiar with the menu. So you're going through the menu, Paul is going through the menu, and eventually you guys decide on different things to get. You decide to get the tuna sandwich, Paul decides to get the reliable steak. And by the time that your guys' food comes, Paul gets a good amount, but you barely get anything. In this situation, you're going to feel somewhat upset, but you're not going to feel as though something unfair was done to you because Paul ordered something different from you. Now imagine a different scenario where you and Paul, you guys get the same thing, but Paul is getting a double-sized portion than you. You guys are still paying the same amount of money, but Paul is getting way more food. How are you going to feel? You feel that? That feeling of disgust that you are feeling right now, that is known as the feeling of unfairness. The reason I believe that so many people are upset with Chipotle is because they feel as though things are unfair. A lot of individuals go to Chipotle and get the same thing every single time. And certain times, the food is way more than other times. And on those days where they're getting significantly less food and they're still paying the same amount of money, it's very similar to that level of disgust they feel like you did with Paul. So I think Chipotle really has an issue right now because the same thing that made them great is now the same thing that's hunting them. Before, the fact that they were allowing the employees to use their own judgment was somewhat of a good thing because I am someone who always weighs my food after I get it. And routinely, the bowls that I would get at Chipotle were somewhere around 36 ounces to 43 ounces. That's a lot of food. And I was able to get that much food because the employees, they were using their own judgment. But other times, the employees using their own judgment is going to ensure that you don't get that much food. They're probably going to use their judgment in a way where it doesn't tilt towards your favor. So I believe the main reason that Chipotle is getting the backlash that it is not because of economics or anything like that. It's really about that feeling of unfairness. How they deal with that is up to them. But I believe this recent backlash with Chipotle shows a deeper issue that every human faces. If me and Paul were going to the same restaurant and we order different things and he gets more food than me, that's fine. But if we go to the same restaurant, we order the same thing and then he gets more than me, that is not fine. Simply understanding the difference between these two scenarios will help you understand how much a human hates it when they feel as though the situation is unfair. If you enjoyed today's breakdown on Chipotle and you want more breakdowns into communication skills, be sure to check out the ArmaniTalks free daily newsletter. Within this newsletter, you will learn much more about public speaking, social skills, emotional resilience, and much more. Join the tribe by going on ArmaniTalks.com/newsletter. Sign up today. Thank you very much for joining the ArmaniTalks podcast, and I'll catch you next time.